Guys, how's it going? Nurbothecat here. Hope everyone's having a good day. It's a late one for me, I know. I just got home. There was a friend of my wife's. She had birth her 2-year-old's birthday today, so drove all the way to Pennsylvania today for that, and we just got back. So after getting the house in order and stuff like that, I'm finally able to sit down and do our proper news and trailer sessions. And we got a few things. There's quite a bit of things in the news. Um, let's start right off the bat with that, actually. Mm, hmm. Eric Von L, the senior editor of Destructoid, a site that posts news stuff and all that stuff, posted on X that after a former Game Informer staffer used the site's social channels to post their own statement on Game Informer's closure, GameStop decided to delete the account. It's kind of crummy on GameStop's part, honestly. Game Informer, as you guys know, as of last week, shut down, and they put a nice, sincere farewell letter on their thing. And apparently there was a nice like letter that was also posted by somebody who worked there, and GameStop didn't like that and shut down deleted the entire account, which is kind of crummy, honestly. Like, that should have stayed there. Sad. Real sad. Moving on from that, we have coming to to Xbox Game Pass. I'm a little tired. Sorry. So right off the bat, we have this is already out because it says August 7th. Creatures of Ava. This is PC, Cloud, and Xbox Series X and S. Crash Bandicoot, Insane Trilogy, Cloud, Console, and PC. Mafia Definitive Edition, Cloud, Console, and PC. That'll be on the 13th. And in case you missed it, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 console and PC are available now. Unlock Valorant benefits for the Xbox X and S and PC, basically console and PC. And Xbox Cloud Gaming is now on Amazon Fire TV devices. I actually heard about this. I heard it's actually not bad. Like, you can literally play xCloud, or is what they're calling it, off of the Amazon Fire Stick, funny enough. DF Direct actually reported on that. So, yeah. No Man's Sky Worlds Part 1 is available. I've actually been playing No Man's Skies. I didn't know about this Worlds thing. Kind of interesting. Wonder if that's like a timed event thing. Dead by Daylight, the 2v8 game mode. Must be a new game mode that they added. I didn't know about that. It's available already. Sea of Thieves Season 3 is also now available. That's something I gotta like try to get a crew together for, because that would be a pretty fun idea. I do have the game, so why not? Sea of Thieves Mayhem bundle, ship bundle is available now as well. And then Xbox Game Pass Ultimate perks include Stampede Racing Royale Game Pass starter kit. Never heard of that game. Sea of Thieves Ebon Rapier pack. Naraka Blade Point Aeon bundle. And as of the 15th, these games will be removed from Game Pass. Airborne Knights, but on Cloud, Console, and PC. Off-World Trading Company on PC, Shadow Warrior 3, Cloud, Console, and PC, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Cloud, Console, and PC. That is our Xbox Game Pass scoop for this month, I want to say, because that's kind of like a monthly thing. Following that up, we have VR news. Interesting VR news. Despite producing one of the best VR headsets around Meta's Reality Labs division, just isn't making any money. Nearly $2 billion of revenue in 2023 was completely swallowed by 18 billion of expenditure. Ouch. In March, that's a $16 billion hit. I just want to point that out. In March 2014, Facebook purchased a virtual reality hardware company named Oculus VR. You guys might remember that, for $2 billion. By the time Facebook had fully integrated Oculus VR into its folds and rebranded it all as Facebook Reality Labs in 2020, the division was burning through cash. The popularity of Oculus Quest 2 headset gave rise to an annual revenue of over $1 billion. However, in the same year, Reality Labs had spent a little under $7 billion, giving the whole division an operating loss. Ouch. So basically, it's never been profitable. Like, I don't know how they went on for as long as they did, man. They've constantly been on a multi-billion-dollar deficit. That's crazy to me. That's just nuts. And it's sad because, there hasn't been enough innovation in the field to warrant the price tag, especially because everything nowadays is so expensive. It's hard to justify spending so much on this because, it's kind of the same price as buying a PC, which is almost fair because it can operate on its own, but, you can also, basically get a PlayStation 5 for less than this. So it's why the huge expenditure on... I don't know, man. They need to figure something out there. A price decrease might be what it needs, but, I don't know if that'll boost sales. I think at the end, what they need is more software to push it, and better software at that. Next up, we have apparently the Nor. Give me 1 second. I gotta open the door for these goddamn cats. Okay, we're back. So, following that up, we have the Sleep Fighter tournament. Yes, you heard me. Is an official Capcom-backed tournament being held by SS Pharmaceuticals, to promote its sleep drug, let me make sure I say this well. All right, it's called Drewell. Drewell. Yes, it's a sleeping drug. The tournament will consist of 3-player teams who take part in a series of best-of-3 matches. To earn points, players are required to get at least 6 hours of sleep in the week leading up to the tournament, a total of 42 hours per person, and 126 for the whole team. If the team's total sleep hours are less than 126 by the time the tournament starts, they will be penalized by 5 points for every hour of sleep deprivation. Ouch. Ouch. This is actually the healthiest form of, assuming that they're not, taking drugs to do this, but this is kind of the healthiest form of tournament I've ever seen, because what ends up happening with a lot of these esports is that people tend to game a ton in preparation for them, and this is kind of forcing everyone to get at least 6 hours of sleep every day before the tournament. That's a very healthy kind of environment at the end of the day, so that's interesting. Curious to see if that'll make them into actually better players than when they don't sleep well before tournaments. Curious, very curious. And then we have more Bungie and Sony news, to be exact. There has not been a hostile takeover, or well, not even hostile, but a takeover in general of Bungie by Sony. But there has been large chunks of it being carved out by the studio and moved under Sony Entertainment. Sony Interactive... Is it Sony... how do I say this? SIE. We're just going to say SIE. I forget what they stand for. I think it's Sony Interactive Entertainment, something like that. Zombie! Oh my god, he has mustache. Yes, I have come prepared for the news. After having struggled to be profitable between Destiny 2 and many other projects, which recently resulted in over 300 layoffs to date, Sony president, COO, and CFO Hiroki Totoki has now revealed, which is a great name, by the way. I love how well that like rolls off the tongue. Hiroki Totoki. That's such a good name. Um, has now revealed in recent briefing that what exactly is happening with Bungie's restructuring is the word that he used. All of what remains of Bungie itself, about 850 people, will be contained and concentrated into Destiny 2 and Marathon development, with behind-the-scenes reporting has this indicated content will shrink in scale for the foreseeable future, which a lot of people have been saying means probably no more big DLCs like Final Shape for next year. It's a good chance that this Frontiers that they mentioned is not going to be a big DLC. Everything else besides Marathon and Destiny 2 will be moved under SIE. This includes back office functions at Bungie, many roles that were hit by layoffs, and also other title developments at Bungie will move under SIE. There's also more general talk about cost restructuring, portfolio optimization, optimizing studio structure, and enhancing efficiency at Bungie. It also became clear that if Bungie had not sold to somewhere like Sony, it would have faced bankruptcy, and it was about able to sell perhaps because it overpromised what it could deliver. Everyone is blaming Bungie leadership for these issues, and it's clear Sony wants to step in with heavier hands. So to summarize that, if you guys didn't get any of that, it's looking like the small studio possibly going to get bigger. There's a good chance more people from Bungie will be moved over to the new studio that they're making under Sony. It looks like those guys are going to be taking over all the other work that was basically going nowhere with Bungie. All these little small projects that they were trying to do. And it's looking like Sony's also starting to take a more heavy-handed managerial role. A lot of the roles that they cut with the layoffs are now being put under Sony to basically pick up the slack on a lot of that. And some of the leadership stuff looks like is also kind of going to try to give the more optimization and scheduling. It basically like it sounds like Sony has basically taken over, but they haven't. What they have done.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Yeah.
It really got out of hand fast.
It really did, though. It's like 1 week to the next. It's not a takeover, though. Just so we're clear, it looks like what Sony is trying to do is Sony is trying to kind of coach, I guess you could say, and kind of alleviate some of the burdens that they face by putting it under their stuff. So, for example, like what they said here was, where did I read it here? Like back office functions at Bungie and many roles that were hit by layoffs, and other title development. They're basically taking all of that away from Bungie that they were doing, and they're like, we're going to handle that for you guys now. You guys just focus on this. And then the other thing that's really important that they said here was the portfolio optimization and studio optimization, which is basically one of the biggest complaints Sony's had since taking them, which was deadlines. The deadlines have not been hitting, ever. And so, like, it looks like Sony's kind of getting more involved, putting a heavier hand on them. And it's kind of like, think of it this way. Think of a father grabbing their son by the shoulder and be like, do that. See that right there? Do that. No, don't worry about this. Do that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like trying to guide them into, like, doing what they need them to do. And then, like, dear old dad is on the side taking care of all the other bullshit. It's kind of what it looks like. It's not a takeover. There's not to say that Sony's not going to take over, but it's not a takeover yet. Again, this is still horrible that all of this is happening, both for the game and Bungie in general, but at the rate that they're going, they kind of need PlayStation to fully take over. It's kind of really, really bad. Like, Pete Parson has practically run that company to the ground, and like, the fact that he's not gone yet is amazing. Like, the second Sony takes over, I really hope they get rid of him. I really hope they get rid of him. It's okay, because, like, worst case scenario, he'll just dry his tears on one of his new vintage cars. Yeet. Yeah, exactly. Yet. Yet is the very, very strong keyword. Regardless of everything I'm saying, hey, Zombie, I still recommend you download the game. Just download the free version. Don't spend any money on it yet. We're one member short for like a good raid, and we can do one of the free raids, which I think will be fun for everybody since we haven't raided with any of these people yet. And I think it'd be very fun. I think it'd be very, very fun. We can have a good time. Whether or not we complete it doesn't really matter too much. You know, we'll probably put like 2-3 hours into it and just try to have a good time. I think you'd enjoy it. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Oh, we're also one thing. If you do download it, since you're going to be on a free account, there is a New Light thing and then a Spark of Hope thing. This is something that they created. It's like a miniature campaign to teach you how to play the game tutorial-wise, and also to kind of give you like an introduction to the game. It's something they created for the new people who are coming in on the free accounts. You need to get past the New Light into the Spark of Hope quest line to step 4. Every quest, when you look at your quest log, has like a step and a number to it. You need to get to at least step 4, which is not very long. Like, you can burn through that in like less than an hour to be able to do that stuff. So just a heads up, if you do download it and do that, just give it a little time, put it in there. Everything else we can pretty much show you and help you learn and all that stuff, and just have a good time. But moving on from that, we got Roblox in the news over some interesting stuff. Although I don't disagree entirely with what's kind of happening here.
That actually is pretty funny.
I mean, yeah. Okay, I'll grind. Nah, there's no grind necessary. Also, there's no power levels needed anymore, because now you're automatically whatever the power lead is, that the lead party member is, you're automatically at their power level. So no more grind necessary. It's kind of nice. They made it really easy to just play with friends now. But back to Roblox. We have interesting news here. I don't completely disagree with this, but at the same time, Turkey kind of has been on some ish lately, banning a lot of sites. So here's another one. More than 200,000 European citizens. Oh, wait. No, wait. I skipped. I'm sorry. I was jumping on to the next article. Turkish government has blocked access to Roblox for all users and creators over child exploitation concerns. Roblox has been the subject of much criticism for not protecting its largely youthful user base. Now the Turkish government believes Roblox is exploiting children with illegitimate practices and has issued a nationwide ban of the platform, blocking access from all users and creators indefinitely. According to Turkish media, that Roblox hosted virtual parties. Roblox, not Minecraft. Roblox hosted virtual parties promoting pedophilia, and that the Robux, which is the currency on Roblox, the platform virtual currency, has been distributed by bot accounts to encourage children's involvement in these activities. The access presence of gambling sites and their predatory attacks in the wake of nationwide ban of the Roblox. Both the player base and the creators who profit from their game on the platform are expressing significant concerns over the future of their economy, which is now indefinitely locked behind the platform. This includes worries over creator payouts and the value of Robux, and the in-game currency that users currently hold in their account. I'm not completely against what's going on here entirely. I don't like the fact that they're just banning sites, because like there is good stuff on Roblox and legitimate creators creating nice fun things for people to experience, so it's like no harm no foul, you know what I mean? But there is kind of like some scummery on Roblox. I've been this is not the first time this has been reported. This is not the first time that anyone has mentioned shit like this. There's a lot of scummery on Roblox, and so it's very, very, very like interesting it's happening. It does suck for those who, you know, were up to just creating something fun and creating something cool and all that stuff, and now they're getting screwed on this end. It does suck for those people, and I hope that they can find some way to like work that out with those people, because it really sucks to put in that work and then it's like you're blocked out of your creator payouts and stuff. Like that really sucks. It's, for some people that's their livelihood, you know. Excuse me, please introduce the one-winged slayer, Chad. You haven't slayed anybody, Chad. It's not over. You're just on remake. Still have to grind. Yeah, not really. I mean, the grind is still there, but it's more of like if you want certain weapons and so on, which, again, that's up to you. That's kind of the fun at that point, you know, going after gear and stuff. Next news article is an interesting one. We have more than 200,000 European citizens want to pass a law so that the EU's video game license publishers will be forced to preserve their favorite games. The petition, called Stop Killing Games, says that when publishers decide to sever the connection to their servers, they proceed to destroy all working copies of the game, which is kind of true. I'm going to try to say this. This is, I don't know what country this name is from, but I'm going to try. Alcacej Vigelinson, a spokesperson for the Stop Killing Games initiative, said that they are mounting the campaign after French gaming company Ubisoft shut down support to The Crew, a 2014 online racing game with a player base of roughly 12 million. The petition asks for the company to leave the game in a playable state before they turn off their servers, meaning that they have an end-of-life plan in place so that the game can continue to run. This service doesn't have an expiration date that you would know of, so you can get robbed, so to speak, at any time if they decide to shut it down. He said the European Commission will have to consider proposing new legislation if the petition hits over 1 million signatures from the least 7 member countries before July 31st, 2021. By the way, Chaos, I think that includes you, so if you haven't signed this petition, you kind of can. Because you are technically in the EU, I believe. But yeah, it's kind of interesting, and like it's cool because like game preservation is a really hard thing nowadays, and like we're seeing that happen more and more, especially the more digital we become. It's kind of becoming even harder to preserve these games. But the interesting thing is that like live service is a special type of animal where it's like as soon as they cut the servers off, that game essentially becomes a brick. It's not playable ever again. And so like at the end of the day, like you have no like real ownership, which has kind of been true for the most case with all digital games. And they're trying to prevent that. They're trying to keep that from happening to games where like there's no way to play them anymore once the servers are out. Funny enough, a perfect example, which I think this is going to happen too soon, is Kill the Justice League. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. I imagine that thing's got another year on it at most, so all those people who paid full price, which I think was a $70 game, are going to essentially lose that all and not have any way to play that ever again. And something like what they're talking about here, where it's like they make it so that you can keep playing the game, but like not on a server, turn it into maybe like a single player experience at that point, like would be a cool idea, I think, where it's like you turn it into a single player game experience, or like server hosting would be ideal. And I don't feel like that would probably take too much work to do. I imagine it wouldn't, but I could be wrong. So I don't know. Just a thought. I paid 70, rip me. Oh, you paid $70 for that game? You played it for 30 minutes and you bailed. I remember that. Not the crew. That's a good game. Well, the crew's gone. The crew is gone because they're trying to push people to play. That's already been shut down, but they're trying to bring it back and save it. Because they have the crew 2, and they're trying to push everybody to the crew 2. That's kind of why this all became kind of the issue. The next thing, the last thing in the news, I forgot to actually bookmark this, but is the free games on Epic this week. If you guys haven't gotten them, you have the Apex Legends Conduit free unlock bundle, Saigen All Guns Blazing, and DNF Duel. Pick up those free games on Epic if you haven't yet. They're free. Why not, right? And that kind of covers our news segment. We're now going to jump into trailers. We got a few little things here. Kind of interesting as well. So, let's see here. Our first one is a game called Creatures of Ava. I'm going to go ahead and play this and open the Nanor. So, be right back.
What are you searching for, traveler? Another mystery to unravel? Or maybe a land to
The cat so
explore?
much. I swear that cat just like scratches at the door and then
came
runs
from
away
the
when I open it.
stars.
It like makes no sense.
In search of answers. Yet you found so much more.
They added light levels to the game and it was stupid. I don't think that was the real problem with the game, but sure.
Saving what's close
A big
to
problem with the
your
game is the
heart
fact that they made it more like
became
they definitely tried to make it as much like Destiny as possible. I will agree with that. But I feel like I had bigger problems than that.
an urge impossible to resist. Cheese! Ask yourself this, traveler. What if sometimes the truest act of love is learning when you need to let go?
Cool. Cool. It's an Unreal Engine game. Cool. Our next game
Hyundai Ioniq 5 versus
is not that. Our next game is called Symphonia. Thought it was interesting because it reminded me a lot of Hollow Knight,
Maybe
but there's like a musical theme to it, which is kind of cool. Next up, we have.
You're...
I have this here just mainly because of the fact we know a couple people who played this game. Here is Persona 3 expansion pass.
You're... I guess.
So yeah, that's right, Chad.
To protect her.
You have more
My
Persona to
name
play.
is Menace. You are the reason why I'm here. I've come to save you from this hopeless situation. This is the abyss of time. Clearly, there is a strong connection between all of you and what's happening. Could I call you my sister? Go right ahead. Thank you, sister. Focus.
The reason time stopped may have something to do with us.
Now, Menace will go full power. Everyone, forward! Firing end of the line. This is for you, sister. You better brace yourself. Charging complete. Maximum power. When I fight, I show no mercy.
I don't know if it's just a new character or if there's actually some more story beats. But it looks like there's something new there for you, Chad. A new waifu. Following that, we have
What if
another game that looked really, really interesting to me. Here is a game called The Occultist.
Voices, screams drawing me in. Better use the pendulum. You're born, you grow up, you die, and... Is that all? No. It's a constant struggle between good and evil, light and dark.
Anyone else is hearing Geralt of Rivia?
What is real and what's not? Can a blind person describe the light? Our limitations as human beings prevent us from really seeing what is there. But when suggestive becomes evident, then we see what is really there.
It's a ghost. It's gonna just go right through the door, isn't it?
When you have to face
Oh,
evil,
that might make
fear
a difference.
is not an option.
Ah. Her weakness was her own reflection.
Engraved in my mind are images that would make any man tremble. But I am not just any man. I am the occultist.
And that's what The Witcher's been up to lately. Straight up sound like Geralt of Rivia. Wonder if that is the same voice actor.
It's really extraordinary being surrounded by such scale.
The next game we got. Next game we got. Is a very interesting one. One that I think everyone is familiar with. Here is Black Myth Wukong. I might play that. You already have too many games to play, Chad, including Lies of P. Also, not for nothing, I've never heard of this. The trivia was the misleading name. What misleading named American dish rarely contains its namesake ingredient? And the answer was city chicken. It's a dish that almost never contains chicken, usually made of pork on a wooden skewer. I've never heard of city chicken. I've never heard of that. So like that must be a very specific place in America. Do they have city chicken in Arizona, Chad? And Wukong is on the list. You have too many games already. You'll never get to it. That's a lie. I'm at 7 Final Fantasy Rebirth. Have fun with it. Enjoy your beach scene. Oh, it's Master Splinter. That's interesting. So it looks like you can like channel other people's powers. I'm ready for Wukai. Don't tease me, Beach Season. UE5, yeah, this is a UE5 game. It was one of the first UE5 games in development. It's funny that hasn't released yet. Meanwhile, other ones have come out already. But this is one of the first ever UE5 games that they were working on. It's just that it was being made by like a nobody studio, so they've definitely taken their time to cook this, and it looks like it was worth the cooking. I mean, we'll see how it actually plays, but hopefully all that time they spent cooking it means that it's good and polished. This game will break Nurbo's PC. Nah, I don't really have that problem anymore. I just switched to just running the game properly.
Dark-furred, devious-natured, hunting that Guai is no simple task. You do have some skills, but this land bites.
Interesting. Our next trailer is a game I'm personally excited for. I don't know how many of you guys actually stuck around for my playthrough of this, but some time ago I played a game called Crosscode. Well, the makers are making a new game. Here is a game called Alabaster Dawn. And it looks amazing, honestly. Not only does the game look better, it's basically cross-code to a degree, but the game looks better. It looks like there's different weapon types, which is awesome. So it's like a real full-blown RPG. And the thing I love the most about it is like, it's animated. Like, you notice like the character dialogue like is actually like showing the people talking. It's not just like screenshots anymore. And the world actually looks 3D. Look at how gorgeous the world looks. I'm so into this when this comes out. This looks great. Like, I don't know if you guys see it or not, but like to me it feels very like Zelda inspired to a degree.
At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what
There we go. And then our last trailer is a game called Preserve. Very pretty looking game, by the way. Yeah, it's an interesting one then. That one's really pretty. Puzzle, little like terraforming type game, I guess you could say. And that's it for news and trailer time. As always, that's as I say at the end of all of these. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe for more of these and other content. Each one of those helps to appease the algorithm gods, so I greatly appreciate it. That being said, here on Twitch, I think we're going to